Prince Grayson hissed at Radion. What do you mean you think she is our mate? How could that be if you can't sense her dragon? I said exactly what I meant. I think just because I can't sense her dragon, that doesn't mean that Princess Ebony doesn't have one. Ancient dragons have magic the younger dragons know nothing of, and some of that is the ability to hide oneself from other dragons. Radion could feel Grayson's agitation. We talked about this earlier. It is a self-defense mechanism to hide oneself from enemy dragons, or to walk around incognito when visiting a strange place, or if someone doesn't feel safe. Grayson calmed down a bit as he slipped into the crowd. At the moment, everyone's attention was on Princess Ebony as she made her way through the crowd. Grayson noticed that the first person to make his way to her was King Bariad. He watched closely as the two royals conversed. He could have sworn he saw a look of distaste on Prince Ebony's face that was quickly hidden. Radion sighed hesitantly before answering. Princess Ebony has the color of Nova's eyes. I can see Nova in her eyes. Radion became silent. Prince Grayson continued watching Ebony as he waited for further explanation from Radion as to whom Nova was. He noticed that Prince Tai was next in line to meet the princess. As Prince Tai stepped up to stand where King Bariad had just stood, Prince Grayson noticed Prince Idris waiting in line after Prince Tai. The image of a fat, juicy green caterpillar flashed in bright colors before his eyes. He shook his head to clear his mind. Stop, trying to distract me from the conversation at hand, Prince Grayson said, annoyed. Who is Nova? He demanded. Prince Grayson heard Radion sigh again, this time deeply. He paused a bit longer before answering. Nova was my mate, thousands of years ago. His words shook Grayson to his core. Radion continued. She was a very powerful dragon, in direct lineage of the first royal family of the ancient dragons. Actually, she is the granddaughter of the first king and queen of the dragons. Granddaughter. Grayson didn't give Radion any time to answer that question before he asked another. Is she more powerful than you are? Radion thought about that for a moment before replying. No, I wouldn't say more powerful but equal. We just have different strengths and abilities. Prince Grayson's eyes left Ebony's face as he saw his uncle headed his way. There you are, Romid exclaimed. You need to get over there in that line and meet the princess. I know, Prince Grayson replied, but I am having a serious conversation with Radion at the moment. Romid looked curiously at Prince Grayson. Why? He asked. He flashed a bright smile at his nephew to hide the seriousness he felt. Always the court politician that he was, he quickly tried to deflect any attention of anyone who might notice Prince Grayson's anxiety. He says he is certain that Princess Ebony has a dragon, and that this dragon is his mate from when they lived years ago, explained Prince Grayson. Romid couldn't hide the shock that was in his voice, even though his poker face was still pretty strong. How can that be? I thought Prince Ebony hadn't shifted yet, he murmured. Prince Grayson shrugged his shoulders. That's what they say, but according to Radion, he doesn't believe that is the case. What makes him come to this conclusion? Asked Romid. He says he can tell by Princess Ebony's eyes, replied Prince Grayson. Her eyes? Questioned Romid. Prince Grayson shrugged his shoulders. That's what he said. I don't know what to tell you. Hey, Prince Grayson glanced in the direction his uncle had nodded his head, to see Eliaster headed their way. Romid raised his eyebrows and Grayson shook his head. He did not want his friend updated on his current events. It was a secret that had to be kept. What's up? Eliaster said, noticing the tension the moment he walked up. Nobody spoke. After a moment he said, Did I do something wrong? No, Prince Grayson. Do you have a guilty conscience? He laughed. Nope. Just wondering why it got so quiet when I walked up, answered Eliaster. No, Prince Grayson replied. Just trying to get my head straight before I walked over there to meet the princess. I'm not really excited about it. Eliaster asked, What's up with Radion? You seem to be talking to him a lot. Nothing, snarked Prince Grayson, a little too quickly. Eliaster gave him a knowing smile. He thinks you're wasting your time here when you should be out hunting your mate, doesn't he? Of course he does, broke in Romid. But we had better head over to the princess because she has just gone through 2 more princes. We have to act like everything is normal. The threesome headed in the direction to get in line, so Prince Grayson could meet Princess Ebony. Out of nowhere, King Liam was standing with them. He looked in surprise at Prince Grayson. "What are you doing so far from the line? Almost all the princes have met her. Didn't we have a serious discussion about this today?" They all bowed before King Liam. Prince Grayson smiled sheepishly at him. "Your Majesty, I was trying to collect my wits about me. I was shocked at how beautiful your daughter is. You failed to mention that today in your garden as we spoke. I feel like she is way out of my league." The king gave Prince Grayson a good-looking over before scoffing. He wasn't quite sure if Grayson was serious. "Nonsense. If anything, you're out of her league." "And yes, she is beautiful," said the king. "I am pretty sure I mentioned that, but I also said she was a handful. Come, follow me to the line before she has gone through the whole line and heads to where her mother is sitting." Following the king was painfully slow. Everyone they passed wanted to greet their king and show homage. Prince Grayson watched as Prince Duro took his turn with the princess. Grayson's cousin looked bored, trying to make small talk with the princess. There seemed to be no connection between them. Still, they seemed to be keeping up appearances for the sake of decorum and the possibility of the two nations they each represented. Prince Grayson was drawn into a conversation with someone he didn't remember being introduced to earlier, but the gentleman seemed to recall meeting him. Politely, he answered questions and made small while trying to stay attuned to whoever was standing before the princess and keeping an eye on King Liam. He finally got a glance to see Prince Kern standing there. "I think that's the last prince in line," commented Grayson to Eliaster. King Liam heard the comment and turned from the guest he was conversing with to look over at the princess. He looked at Prince Grayson. "We had better get moving," King Liam said as he began pushing through the crowd with a look of purpose that seemed to say, "Leave me alone," to everyone that was standing in the way. Prince Grayson chuckled to himself. Everyone must know the king and the look he has on his face. Radian said dryly. "No one seems to be getting his way, or stopping him now." Grayson didn't reply to Radion, though he had to agree with him. Prince Kern was walking away from the princess. Prince Grayson saw Princess Ebony scanning the crowd, looking unsure of herself of her next move. Her face looked brightened as she saw the king, before she noticed Prince Grayson standing right behind him. She grabbed King Liam's two hands, and drew him near and planted a kiss on his cheek, as if she was glad that he had come to her rescue. The king chuckled at her forwardness. Prince Grayson could see that, in spite of the old king's warning about his daughter to him, King Liam was very fond and indulgent of her. He did draw back quickly before she could plant a kiss on his other cheek. That was the only sign that the king was trying to be a bit more formal for the ball, and his subjects that surrounded him. "Let me introduce you to Prince Grayson of Pyroria," he said, pulling the prince forward to stand between him and his daughter, not giving Kaysen a chance to make the formal introduction. "Prince Grayson, this is my daughter, Princess Ebony." Prince Grayson gallantly bowed before her. Princess Ebony giggled slightly at the grand gesture that no one else had shown her, as it had not been required. "Hello, Princess Ebony," he said. King Liam looked pleased at Prince Grayson's actions. He was also pleased with Princess Ebony's reaction. She seemed awed by the prince, and King Liam thought that was a good sign. Maybe despite all the years of mistrust between Alarion and Pyroria, there would finally be an end to years of wars because of Princess Ebony and Prince Grayson. King Liam could only hope. Princess Ebony mumbled a greeting back at him. Her eyes looked blank, faintly glazing over as he looked as she looked at him. "She looks starstruck," Radion said to Prince Grayson. "Nova has to know that I am here." Prince Grayson could hear Radion trying to communicate to the dragon that he believed was inside of Ebony. He tried to ignore his dragon because he could tell Radion was not getting any response. He concentrated on the princess, but she seemed so out of it. He tried to make a little talk. It was as if she didn't hear a word that he was saying. Finally, he walked away from her. He watched as she turned to face the lesser royals left in the line waiting to greet her with her father. Prince Grayson joined Eliaster and Romid, who had stopped at the refreshment tables, while Prince Grayson had walked with King Liam to meet Princess Ebony. "How did it go?" asked Eliaster. "It went," said Prince Grayson as he grabbed another mead from the table. Romid raised his eyebrows questioningly. Prince Grayson shook his head. He turned to watch her, not being able to take his eyes off her. Radiance sat quietly in his mind. Prince Grayson could tell Radian was disappointed he had not gotten a response while he had been trying to talk to the princess. Finally, the last in line had been presented to Princess Ebony. Prince Grayson watched as King Liam and Princess Ebony walked to where Queen Briette was already seated with Alarian's 3 princes.